Welcome to Talking Clean, the podcast where we will break down clean energy and healthy living into simple, everyday habits that can save you money and protect our community. I'm your host, Dr. Mary House, and I want to share with you why this is so important to me. Being raised in a poor neighborhood in Detroit, where resources and information about creating a healthier and cleaner place to live, it was not a conversation. We were just concentrating on surviving, just like some of you. So as I became an adult, my curiosity began to explore the many concerns of why things weren't like they should be. So in this journey, I began to find out what was not happening in underserved communities of color all across America as it pertains to this topic. And I discovered we just weren't exposed to nor given the resources and information needed to create a healthier and cleaner home. Now, fast forward, I knew I had to be a voice crying in the wilderness for people who looked like me. And out of this cry, this podcast was birthed. And together, we're going to explore practical tips, local resources, and inspiring stories that empower our families and communities to live cleaner, greener, and healthier lives. So whether you're looking to cut down your utility bills or make a difference in your neighborhood, you are in the right place. I want to welcome you back today. And you know what I thought is so important for us to educate, our community on what environmental justice is all about. And so today I'm going to talk about Black advocates and clean energy and environmental justice. You don't even know what environmental justice is. I remember when I got in this space, I had no idea what really was what they called EJ, which is environmental justice. So I'm really going to give you the term and what it means, because I just think that we're so uninformed about this world that's been happening around us. We've been living in it day to day. We've been living in communities where the political world and the political climate talks about it or refers to it as environmental justice. So what is that? That's what I asked. What is it? Let me tell you what it is. Environmental justice is defined as the just treatment and meaningful involvement in all people in environmental decisions. It's making to ensure full protection from disproportionate environmental and health impacts, and equitable access to a healthy, sustainable, and reliant environment. It was inspired, listen to this, by the civil rights movement. That means when Dr. Martin Luther King and his whole movement of civil rights, it just wasn't about equal rights as a people. It was also equal rights as where we live and what happens in our communities. See, environmental justice became widespread in the 1980s at the intersection of environmentalism and social justice. Environmental injustice is experienced throughout heightened exposure of pollution and is corresponding with health risk, limited access to adequate environmental services, and the loss of land and resource rights. Environmental justice and sustainability are interdependent, as both are necessary to equip an equitable environment for all of us. And you know what? I want us to understand that for me, being raised in the ghetto, or what they would call the underserved or disproportionate community, it was the ghetto. Okay, it's where if you are struggling, you're not George Jefferson, you ain't living George Jefferson, you ain't on high up the hill, you ain't moved up there, you still where you're at, and you're struggling. Your homes, you're looking around your house, you might see mold. You're probably looking around your environment, there's no parks. with a lot of trees where you could hang out. That if you do have a park, it's probably where they're dealing drugs and stuff, right? That's environmental justice. That means somebody, and legislation really ain't paying attention to you, but you don't know that the term you need to be saying is, we want our environmental rights because of who we are. You know you have a voice. So now let me tell you about people who came before you and I, and some that are still alive today, that paved the way. There's this man, his name is Robert Bullard. He's the father of environmental justice, and I thought, wow. His contributions, he exposed environmental racism and how pollution disproportionately affects Black communities. He's been an advocate for fair policies and clean energy solutions, and he helped shape the U.S. environmental policy. That's Mr. Robert Bullard. I don't know who's the next Mr. Robert Bullard, but I'm waiting for you to arise. You're watching me today and say, I got a cause. I got a mission. I got something that's stirring in my spirit to help my people. You might be the next Mr. Bullard. We have Marjorie Carter. She's an environmentalist activist and urban revitalization strategist. Her contributions? She founded Sustainability South Bronx to promote green infrastructure. She advocated for green energy solutions in urban communities, and she created green job opportunities for marginalized communities. You may be the next Marjorie Carter. Then there's Hazel Johnson. She's the mother of environmental justice. She fought against pollution in Chicago's Black communities. She founded People for Community Recovery. She pushed for clean energy policies and environmental health reforms. You may be the next Hazel Johnson. Then we have Van Jones. He's a lawyer, activist, and clean energy advocate. What was his contributions, or what are his contributions? He founded Green for All, promoting inclusive green energy jobs. He served as an environmental advisor in the Obama administration. He's been an advocate for policies integrating racial and environmental justice. You, yes, you may be the next Mr. Van Jones. Then we have Mustafa Santiago Ali. He's an environmental justice leader and policy expert. What is his contributions? He worked at the Environmental Protection Agency for over 2 decades. He's been an advocate for clean energy initiatives benefiting disadvantaged communities. He founded revitalization strategies focusing on climate solutions. Are you the next Mustafa Ali? We have Rose McKinney-James, who is a local here in Las Vegas. She is a clean energy advocate and a public policy leader. What is her contributions? She's a champion for renewable energy and sustainable economic development. She serves as a leader in Nevada's energy policy initiatives, and she's an advocate for increased corporate sustainability and clean energy transitions. So, are you the next Miss Rose McKinney-James? I'm talking to you. Then we have Catherine Coleman Flowers. She's an environmental health advocate. Her contributions were raising awareness of sanitation and water quality issues in rural areas. And if you guys have ever watched the news, you remember how Flint had that issue, Flint, Michigan, that is, with the lead in the pipes and people were getting sick. Stuff like that is happening all over, where she was one of the advocates for that. She founded the Center for Rural Enterprise and Environmental Justice, and she worked with the Biden administration on environmental policies. Are you the next Catherine Coleman Flowers? So now what would be your takeaways with what I just said? Black leaders have played a crucial role in advocating for environmental justice and clean energy. Their work has influenced policies, improved community health, and created some green jobs. We must continue supporting equitable clean energy solutions. The contributions of these Black advocates serve as a powerful reminder that environmental justice and clean energy solutions must be inclusive and equitable. By recognizing and supporting their work, we can drive meaningful progress towards a healthier planet for all. See, I don't know who's watching and what you've been stirred up about, what's not happening in your community and your environment and where you're at. You might have said, I've never heard of this. I want you to take time. Whether you're living in an apartment or whether you're living in a home. And I want you to walk through your home and look. What's around there? Are you smelling? Does it smell right? Are the windows sealed? Is the air seeking through there? Is the door, you got leaves coming through there or dirt because it's not properly suitable for being in a healthy and clean home? Do you have a gas stove? And do you understand that that gas stove has been a problem really for your health? That it's been causing respiratory issues and health issues, and you need to get an induction cooktop and turn that thing off? Are you looking at the water flow, your faucets? What about them? Just go through and check. Are they good and tight? Are they low flowing? Faucets. These are things that are all about environmental justice. And if I've mentioned some things and they're not right, I want you to call. First, I want you to start with, go on YouTube and say, how can I fix it myself? Because some of you all can't afford somebody to come. But do you know that Envy Energy has a program that gives you a free home audit, and they'll come do it, whether you're in an apartment or you're in a home. And I want you to go look, challenge them to come out. And don't tell the technician to rush through. Watch him. Watch what he does. Because you may be the person who would be the next person going into someone's home, being that home technician, that home energy audit technician. So, it's Black History Month. And I want you to go beyond civil rights. I want you to reach into environmental justice and educate yourself. Can you do that for me? That's my call to action. So remember to subscribe to my channel and share this, because this is information you probably never heard. But I want you to listen to it until it gets right down to the root of you. I pray that I stir up the next environmental justice advocate and that you do something. Because if you see something, say something. Thank you for watching. Thank you for joining me on this episode of Talking Clean with Dr. Mary House. Remember, every small step towards cleaner living adds up to a big difference for your home, your wallet, and our community. So if you enjoyed today's conversation, be sure to subscribe. Share this episode with a friend and connect with us online for more clean energy resources. Just remember to think green and keep talking clean.